In a moving speech earlier this evening, President Biden explained his decision to step aside and get behind Kamala Harris. Now her campaign is hard at work looking for a running mate. Aides have requested vetting materials from several possible contenders, including our next guest, Democratic Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Governor, how did you feel when you heard the president's speech tonight? This has been a whirlwind of the last couple of weeks for you.
Yeah, well, good evening, Stephanie. I think like so many, sometimes when history's so close to you, you don't realize you're living in it. I'm hoping that many Americans got to see something tonight that was the best of who we are. We talk about our democracy. We talk about this great nation, and it's made up of great people. And you saw the most powerful man in the world sitting in the most powerful office talk about what was best for us, what was best for our democracy. And so my hope is not just Americans saw this. I hope the rest of the world saw this. This is truly who we are. We're not chaos. We're not throwing words at one another. We're not buffoonery and clownery that we see so much from the former occupant. But we saw a guy of basic decency. That's the privilege for me to know Joe Biden is to see just basic decency. And what's encouraging to me tonight is it was truly that transformational moment. He's handing that torch to someone else who represents this nation, a nation that there's a place for all of us, a place where decency rules, a place where smiling and laughing in public is who we are. So I went through the gamut of emotions, but I think many of us, when we're older and even more gray, will remember this night as something really special. It's the best of who we are.
Well, another privilege may be coming your way. Your name obviously has come up as a possible running mate for VP Harris. A, do you want the job? And B, how does all of this feel? I mean, 3-4 weeks ago, I cannot imagine you were thinking this was a possibility for you in the coming year.
Yeah, high school geography teachers don't usually think that. Look, it is humbling. It's a privilege. It's surreal. I think what I'm most excited about in this moment is it's clear we're going to win in November. It's clear that the darkness and this dystopian view that we keep getting pushed on us, we see tonight. Don't explain to me. I see, Vice President, soon to be President Harris, talking about health care affordability, lifting up jobs, those types of things. I see Donald Trump talking about the wonderful Hannibal Lecter or whatever weird thing he's on tonight. That needs to end. And so for me, I think the joy of it is to see something that feels so normal and so decent, and to watch, and I keep saying this, I can almost physically see Donald Trump shrinking in front of us because of the ludicrousness of it. And that is the gift that Joe Biden gave with this selfless act. And it's I think that the optimism of the future. I had the opportunity to watch a few months back when Kamala Harris came to Minnesota and made history by standing in a Planned Parenthood clinic and saying, we're going to protect reproductive rights. And then I watched her on the way back to the airport decide to pull into St. Paul Central High School and go watch the softball team and watch those young women as it rippled through them that, oh, my God, it's the vice president, as they huddled around her and she talked about what was possible. Imagine Donald Trump trying to give anything in that speech, or God forbid he'd stop at a high school and try and rally people up, throwing paper towels or whatever he does. There's just no sense of who we are, no sense of the decency of this country. So for me, the last 3 weeks in watching this, it was hard, the emotions of it. Look, aging is not a conspiracy. It's life. But to watch this transition, it really feels in our country the best of who we are is back, and that excites me.
Well, people aren't imagining Donald Trump doing anything right now. They're potentially imagining you on this ticket. What do you think the ticket needs? What do you think Kamala Harris needs to win in November, to have in a running mate?
Yeah, I think the energy to take it out there. Look, what I'm excited about is if you look at that and the folks who are on there, these are my friends. And look, I'm the chair of the Democratic Governors Association. They're Democratic governors. That's because if you take a Democratic governor using the Biden-Harris policies that they put in place, you're protecting reproductive rights. You got free school meals. You've got a working class that's focused on organized labor and union labor, the most pro-labor president we've ever seen. And I think, she's got a wealth of opportunities. But it's the American people who are now seeing what's possible. So for me, I'm just proud. I'm proud of what we've done in Minnesota. I'm proud of what they've done across this country and states using things like bringing the CHIPS Act back, infrastructure. Joe Biden was out here when Donald Trump's going to come out here and he's going to talk about Hannibal Lecter and other weird shark shit things or whatever. Joe Biden comes out here and brings $1 billion to replace the Blatnick Bridge in Duluth and Superior. And then after he makes that announcement, he goes into the bar and buys the union members a round of beer. That's what decency looks like. So I'm jazzed. She can't go wrong. Keep with these policies, keep moving forward, center it on families, center it on organized labor, center it on freedoms. That's the thing that we talk about. I keep saying this. These guys come out here, want to ban books. Through the policies that we've been able to do, we're banning hunger in our schools. These are things that the middle class cares about. So I have not seen, and I'll go where Jamie Harrison went, I've not seen the joy, excitement, and the unity for quite some time, and that's encouraging.
You are talking about practical policies and unifying tangible wins. And in the last few days, we have heard from Republicans, and they are falsely and repeatedly claiming that Kamala Harris is a, quote, DEI candidate. We know that language is racist and sexist. It's also absolutely not true. But I've heard you say that this kind of campaigning is going to backfire on them. Why?
It will. It will. Well, I've said I was a fourth grade teacher for a while. Look, fear is a short-term motivator, but it doesn't change behaviors. People want to be inspired to something bigger than themselves. You have these folks come out here, and it's all about shrinking. It's all about anger. It's all about name-calling. They've got nothing. And then this idea. Guys that were born on third base thinking they hit that triple or whatever, Donald Trump inheriting the money. It's ludicrous. That's not who we are. And I think when you see the optimism of what is possible, the optimism of talking about rebuilding that middle class, we're moving in that direction, it's exciting. And I don't believe it'll work. And I'll tell you what, go ahead and continue to denigrate people. Go ahead. My God, they went after cat people. Good luck with that. Turn on the internet and see what cat people do when you go after them. These people, if it would be funny if it wasn't so sad, they see the least fortunate among us as scapegoats and punchlines for them. Kamala Harris and Democrats see them as our neighbors. That is a big difference. That's a big difference attacking real problems. They don't want to tackle things that are tough, but Joe Biden said this, when America decides to tackle big things, I would never bet against us. So good luck with them to bet against Vice President, soon-to-be President Harris, because the American people are tired of that. It's ridiculous. That show has run out. If he were a TV show, it'd be canceled, so let's just do it in November.